So let's bring ourselves either into a child's pose or down onto our backs, whatever feels more comfortable for you to get started today. If a child's pose is where you are headed, bring your big toes together. Let your knees go as wide as you prefer, letting your chest either fall on top of your thighs or in between your thighs. And then gently start to walk those fingertips towards the top edge of your mat. If you choose to come down onto your back, you can make any shape there that you'd like. So Shavasana, it's great to start if you prefer to do that. You can begin with the bottoms of your feet together, your knees out wide in a lying butterfly pose. Or simply planting your feet on the ground and bending those knees if that's more comfortable. So child's pose or on your back, whatever feels best for you to get yourself started here. I'll make my way to my mat here in just a few seconds. Just going to make sure we all have what we need here. And then of course, if stillness is where you need to find yourself right away, please feel free to settle into some stillness. If a little bit of movement is what's going to help you settle into this posture, you can rock your head side to side, rock your knees side to side. Take those arms one way and the other way. Any of those physical movements to settle in that you prefer. We'll take just a few moments here just to bring ourselves into this initial posture, reminding our bodies that it's yoga time. Taking a moment to settle our thoughts into this practice time together. Perhaps even drawing an intention to mind, any of that to allow you to settle in. And I invite you, if you are not already there yet, to begin to bring your body into some stillness, sort of settling into the posture you have found. And I invite you very gently to shift your focus over to your breath. There's no need to change the way that you breathe in and breathe out. Just take notice of where your breath is. Notice the physical body, if there's any points of tension or points of tightness. Know that we will take care of those points of tension and tightness today. And then as you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath, expanding the rib cage, expanding the belly with an inhale. Allowing your exhales to release some of that tension and let it all go. Regardless of your body position here, you can fully inhale, breath into the lungs, rib cage, and belly. And we can fully exhale to release it and let it go. Let's find 3 more full rounds of breath in your own time. And then if you're in child's pose, I invite you just to stay there for another moment. If you find yourself on your back, gently bend your knees and draw your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands or your forearms around your shins. Take a moment here to give yourself a big hug. And then if you're on your back, you'll gently rock and roll long ways on your spine to come up to a comfortable seat. If you're in child's pose, gently press your torso up. You're welcome to sit on your shins like I am here. If that's not comfortable, feel free to swing your legs around, coming into a loosely crossed leg as all of us make our way to our seat here. Whether you're on your shins or have those legs loosely crossed, think about rooting down through your sit bones. Creates a nice, tall, dignified spine, vertebrae on top of vertebrae, all the way up. The crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Allow your shoulder blades to relax down. Maybe do a few shoulder rolls now that we are in an upright seat here. And I invite you here to draw your thumbs together at heart center. Press those palms together firmly. Again, shoulders are relaxed. You can gently blink your eyes closed. Drawing to mind's eye here an intention for today's practice. If no particular intention comes to mind, I invite you just to stay in each pose, stay in each moment, and enjoy each breath as we practice together today. As we inhale, let's draw those arms up and overhead. Press those palms together. As we exhale, let's release that intention out to the universe. 2 more full rounds of breath just like that. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhaling, thumbs to heart center. One more time, breathing all the way in. Press those arms up and overhead. And exhaling, thumbs to heart center. Beautiful. Placing those hands on the thighs or the knees, maybe in the lap, whatever feels good for you. As we inhale, let's roll the shoulders back. Allow the chest to come forward. Exaggerate your low back curve here a little bit. Seated cow pose. And then as we exhale, let's round those shoulders forward. Tuck your belly in. Gaze down at your thighs. As we inhale, roll the shoulders back. Chest comes forward. Maybe you start to lift your gaze a little bit. As we exhale, round the shoulders forward, tuck in your belly, look down at the floor. Last time here, inhale, roll those shoulders back, chest comes forward, maybe gaze up a little higher. And as we exhale, roll those shoulders forward, tuck in your belly. Come on back to our neutral spine here. A few shoulder rolls one way and the other way might feel good. We'll make our way over to our tabletop position here in your own time. There's no rush. As we get ourselves set up in our tabletop here, spread your fingers nice and wide. We want to root down through all the finger pads and the 4 corners of the palm here. Index fingers parallel to each other. Knees roughly hip distance apart, and then you can tuck or untuck those toes as we move through cow and cat posture right here. As we inhale, relax the belly towards the ground. Lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. As we exhale, push the mat away, dome the upper back. The inhale relaxes the belly towards the ground, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. The exhale pushes the mat away. One more time, my friends. Inhale, relax the belly towards the ground, gaze lifts. And exhale, pushing the mat away. Come on back to our neutral tabletop here. Shoulders are stacked over those wrists. On your inhale, extend your right leg straight behind you. Keep those hips nice and level here. As we exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest, push the mat away like our cat pose. Inhale, extend that right leg behind you, hips are level. Exhale, knee into the chest. Inhale, extend that leg straight behind you. Exhaling last time, knee to chest. And then we'll inhale ourselves, reaching that right leg behind, hips are still level. As we exhale, place that right foot to the outside of the left, coming into a nice right side body opener here. If you'd like to go a little bit bigger with this, you can start to take your left fingers to the sky. You've got a little bit more of a rotation there. If that's not comfortable, come back to center with that left hand. Taking one more breath in and a breath out. If that left arm is up, let's return that left hand back to our tabletop position. Right leg extends behind us as we square off the hips. And then on an exhale, come on back to your tabletop position. Come on back to center here. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale that left leg straight behind us. Keep those hips nice and square here. As we exhale, left knee towards chest, dome the upper back. As we inhale, left leg reaches behind. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, left leg reaches behind, level those hips. Exhale, knee to chest. Last time, push the mat away here. And then we'll inhale that left leg straight behind. Your shoulders are still over those wrists. As we exhale, left foot comes to the outside of the right foot, coming into that nice left side body stretch. You're welcome to stay here. If you want to try something a little different, take those right fingers to the sky. Find your breath. If those right fingers are up, let's come back down to the mat here. Shoulders over those wrists, everybody. We'll take that left leg straight behind us. Here's your inhale. And our exhale takes us back to our tabletop position here. Reset to center. And then we'll set those knees a few inches behind those hips. Tuck your toes under. Stack your shoulders over your wrists again. Take a full breath all the way in. As we exhale, send our hips to the sky for our first downward facing dog with a giant bend in those knees, everybody. Send your sit bones up to the ceiling here. Use your hands to press your chest towards your thighs. And then, of course, if you'd like to work towards straight legs here, think about sending your hamstrings behind you rather than just locking out your knees. Taking 2 more breaths here. One more breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, we're going to inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling here. Then we're going to bend the right knee and open up the hip. Try to keep your shoulders square to center. Use your right glute to keep that leg lifted here. Full breath in. Big breath out. Then we'll inhale to square off those hips, extend that right leg behind you. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Take a breath to pedal it out. And then on your next inhale, left leg reaches towards the ceiling. We'll bend the left knee and open up the hip. Try to keep your shoulders square again here, using that left glute to keep that leg lifted. And then on your next inhale, we'll square off the hips, extend that left leg behind you. As we exhale, find downward facing dog. Take 1 big breath in here and a full breath out. Then we'll send those hips a little higher. You can straighten your knees as you do so. Take our tiny baby steps here towards the top of the mat. Coming into a forward fold with a big bend in those knees to get us started here. Equal pressure through heels and toes here. And then we'll draw hands to shins. Inhale to a neutral spine, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold all the way down. Let's do that twice more. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift. You can begin to straighten your knees as you lift up if you want to. Exhale to fold down, put that bend back in those knees. One more time, hands to shins, inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, folding all the way down. Press through both feet, my friends, to draw that torso all the way up to standing. Expand those arms up and overhead, press palms together. Here's our inhale. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. We're going to flow right from here. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, folding forward, come all the way down. Hands come to shins. Inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. As we exhale, bend those knees to get your hands down. We'll step our left leg to the back of the mat. Drop that left knee down. Coming up into our low leg lunge on the right side. Right knee's on top of that right ankle here. Square off those hips. If you have to back out of it, that's okay. Back toes are tucked under. Draw your belly button in. Reach those fingertips up. Taking our 3 breaths here. One more breath. Let's inhale. As we exhale, left fingers touch down, right fingers to the sky. Let's enjoy our twist. 3 breaths. One more breath. Inhale. As we exhale, unwind, touch the ground. The back knee will lift, and then step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Then we'll draw hands to shins. Inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. As we exhale, plant those hands down, take your right leg to the back of the mat here. Drop that right knee down, coming up into our low leg lunge on the left side. Left knee's on top of that left ankle. Back knees down, back toes are tucked. Belly button is tight and in. Fingertips up. Here we are. 3 breaths. One more breath. Let's inhale. As we exhale, those right fingers touch down, left fingers to the sky. Here's our twist. Find your breath. One more. Let's inhale. As we exhale, unwind and touch the ground. Back knee lifts, and then we'll step our right foot forward to meet our left foot. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Hands come to shins. Inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. Press through those feet to draw all the way up to standing. Expand those arms up and overhead. Here's our inhale. Exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way down. As much of a bend in those knees as you like. Hands to shins on an inhale, neutral spine. And then this time as we exhale, we're going to plant those hands, take ourselves all the way back to find downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale, forward to a high plank, everybody. Let's check our form here, and we're going to play a little bit. Shoulders over the wrists. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Zip up your belly. You shouldn't have to move your hands and feet when you go from down dog to plank here. Crown of the head reaches forward, so we're nice and long through that spine. Tailbone reaches towards the wall behind you. Take one more breath in. As we exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. This time we're going to bend those knees a little bit here. Upper body still in down dog. And then when you're ready, press your torso forward to a high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Let's do that again. We're going to inhale the knees towards the mat here. And then when you're ready, launch that torso forward into a high plank. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time, my friends. Inhale, knees to a hover. We're moving like a wave and then like a rocket forward. High plank here, breath in. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. And a big exhale. We'll inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling. Hips are square when you're ready. Exhale to step that right foot forward. Keep your back knee lifted, everybody. We're going to come up into our first full-size crescent lunge on the right side. Right knee's on top of that right ankle here. Draw your belly button in. Adjust your wardrobe as we do every single flipping time. Press through the ball of your back foot here. If you start out with a bend in that back knee, that's okay. Work towards a straight knee by taking your hamstring up and back. Shoulder blades are down. Fingertips are up. Let's take our 3 breaths here. One more full inhale. As we exhale, touch the ground. We'll step ourselves back to find downward facing dog. Pedal out those legs for a breath if you like to. And then we'll take it to the other side. Inhaling left leg up towards the ceiling. Nice square hips here. Exhale to step that left foot forward. Back knee stays lifted here as we draw that torso up for our crescent lunge on the left side. Left knee's on top of that left ankle. Inner thighs are engaged. Even though those legs are apart, think about engaging your inner thighs. It's going to help square your hips and keep your balance. Belly button draws in, shoulder blades down. 3 breaths here. One more inhale. As we exhale, touch the ground, stepping ourselves back to downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths. You're welcome to a child's pose if you'd like it here for 3. One more full inhale. And a big exhale. If
you're in child's pose, come on back up to downward facing dog. And then all of us from down dog will send those hips a little higher. You can take your baby steps or a big step up to the top of the mat here. Forward fold once you arrive. Hands come to shins. Inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. Press through both feet. Draw that torso all the way up. Arms expand overhead, big breath in. Exhaling, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose. Tadasana, good, feet are hip distance apart, hands start on hips, drop those hips back and down. Modified chair pose here. Feet are apart, which means those knees are also apart. Square those hips off, neutral spine, and then you can keep your hands on your hips if you want to. You can draw thumbs to heart center. If you want to try something a little different, hook your thumbs together like a butterfly, and then reach those arms up and overhead. 3 breaths. One more breath, let's inhale. And exhale. And then we'll press through those feet to stand all the way up. Expand those arms up and overhead, inhale. Exhale to fold forward, coming all the way down. Hands come to shins. Inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhale to plant those hands, stepping ourselves back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. We're gonna move through our wave like we did earlier. So upper body stays in down dog. Your knees come to a hover above the ground. Here's your inhale. As you exhale, press through the balls of your feet to press forward into a high plank. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Twice more. Inhale, knees to a hover. Exhale, high plank. Breath in, stays here. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, knees to a hover. Exhale, high plank. Stay here, breath in. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Finding a full inhale. Big exhale. When you're ready, we'll inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling. Nice square hips here. Exhale to step that right foot forward. Let's come up onto our fingertips here, my friends. And then we're going to straighten that right knee, coming into a nice hamstring opener on the right side. Now, if you want to drop your back knee down and do your hamstring opener that way, please feel free to do so. That's completely up to you. Fingertips or flat palms, whether your knee is up or down, think about squaring off your hips. So you don't want your left hip up and open here. Square those hips off. Draw your right femur bone into your hip socket here. Wherever you are, whether that back knee is up or down, let's find that breath. And then all of us are going to bend into that right knee. If your back knee's on the mat, let's lift that back knee up. Draw up onto those fingertips, everybody, and then we're all going to pivot that left foot down, creating warrior 2 in the legs, pressing through both feet to draw that torso all the way up, warrior 2 right side. Right knee's on top of that right ankle here, those right toes point forward. Press through the outer edge of your left foot here. Very often we start out with our back hip up too high, so engage your inner front thigh to level those hips down. Belly button draws in, arms straight and strong here, 3 breaths, and then we'll play. One more full inhale, and a big exhale. And then we'll reach those arms up, both legs are straight here. Inhale, you can gaze up if you want to. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, warrior 2. And then we'll inhale, reach up, gaze up, stay here. Press through those feet. Legs are going to stay. We'll take our arms back to reaching forward and backward.
And then take those right fingers forward, come on into triangle pose on the right side. Torso is open to the long side of the mat here. You don't want this top shoulder to collapse down. Draw your belly button in, press through both feet. Right hand can be on the shin, the foot, or the floor. Place a little micro bend in this right knee, one that you might not even be able to see, but you can feel. And then if you can gaze up, go for it. 3 breaths are here. One more breath, my friends. Here we are. Let's inhale. Let's exhale. Gaze down at those right toes. We're going to square off those shoulders and hips. Frame your right foot. Put a little bend in your right knee here. We're into a lunge. Take a full inhale. As we exhale, step ourselves back to downward facing dog. Pedal it all out. Taking one more breath. And then when you're ready, we'll take the other side. Inhale, left leg towards the ceiling. Nice square hips here. As we exhale, step that left foot forward. Come on up onto those fingertips as we straighten this left knee for the hamstring stretch on the left side. Now, of course, you are welcome to drop your back knee down and then take the hamstring stretch if you prefer this version of the posture. Great place to be. If that back knee is up, you're going to want to keep your front foot flat here. And then all of us can think about taking our femur bone, left femur bone into the hip socket to square off those hips. Whether your back knee is up or down, fingertips or flat palms, whichever you prefer. If you use blocks here, great place for blocks. Breath into this left hamstring, everybody. One more full round of breath here. We're all going to put a little bend in this left knee. If your back knee is on the ground, let's lift that back knee off the ground. You can come up to fingertips here. And then we're going to pivot that right foot down, creating warrior 2 in the legs as we press firmly through both feet. That torso draws all the way up. Full size warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Left side, left knee's on top of that left ankle here. Press firmly through the outer edge of your right foot. Your right hip might be up kind of high here. Let's level those hips off, engage your left inner thigh. 3 breaths, here we are. Pressing through both feet, straight arms, straight legs, reach up, you can gaze up. Here's our inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Twice more, just like that. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, warrior 2. And then this time as we reach up, you're welcome to gaze up. Stay here with those legs. We'll open those arms up again and then reach those left fingers a bit forward, coming into triangle pose on the left side. Right fingers to the sky. Left hand can find the shin, the foot, or the floor. Keep that torso nice and open to the long side of the mat here. Press through both feet. If you can gaze up at your right thumb, go for it. Find your breath. One more breath, my friends. Here we are. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll gaze down at those left toes. Drop both hands down. Square off the shoulders. Square off the hips. Frame your left foot. Put a bend in that left knee. Take a full inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll step ourselves back. Downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here, my friends. You're welcome to a child's pose if you'd like it.
One more breath. If you're in a child's pose, come on back up to downward facing dog. And then all of us from down dog will send those hips a little higher. You can walk, step, or hop up to the top of your mat. Forward fold once you arrive here. Bringing hands to shins, inhale, neutral spine, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. Press through both feet to bring that torso all the way up to standing. Expand those arms up and overhead. Here's your big breath in. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's play in tree pose today a little bit, everybody. So I'm going to give you a ton of options for how to take your tree pose. If you want to work on your balance even more, you can stand on a block and then take your tree. I'm not going to say that way because my head comes off the top of the camera, but if you want to practice on a block, you can do that, and everything else is the same. All right, so you choose which side to start on, whichever one feels better for you. If you need a little extra help, you can hold on to the dresser or a chair or the wall if that's helpful. So choose your plant leg here. Draw the other foot either to a kickstand, so you maintain contact with the floor, or the block if you're standing on a block. You can also bring that foot to the calf or draw it up to the inner thigh. Option today as well is to take a half lotus, so that top foot comes in front of the plant leg hip. You can hold on to it if you want to. Great option to stay here. I'm going to stay here in this one today. And then all arm options also on the table. If you like to play with your tree a little bit, you can envision a tree in the wind, right? Flowing one side and the other side, maybe expanding and closing. Any of those upper body movements that feel good for you today in your tree pose. It's hard enough sometimes to keep our balance here, right? So if you want to stay stationary, great place to be. So all of the tree options, blowing in the wind, strong and steady, whatever you like. We're going to take 5 breaths, everybody, so we got time to play. If you fall out of your tree, no big deal. Just reset back to where you were. Whenever you feel ready, drop that flying leg back down to standing, hands back to center or back to hips. Let's shake those legs out. And then we'll take our time switching to the other side. So again, you can stand on a block if you want to, or right on your yoga mat. If you need help with your balance, that's no big deal. Whatever opposite plant leg needs to be here, you can kickstand, you can bring it to the calf, you can bring it to the inner thigh, you can half lotus. So it doesn't exactly have to look the same as the other side. That's no big deal. Whatever you choose to do on this side is a great option here. Again, all arm options are on the table. Standard tree, if you like that. You can blow it in the wind. You can find something stationary if that feels better for you. Find those 5 big breaths. Here we are. And then I invite you to come back to center, whatever that looks like for you. And then take both feet back down to the mat. Shake everything out, everybody. Roll those shoulders if you need to. Shake those legs out. And then if you're facing the top of your mat, I invite you to open up to the long side of the mat, whichever direction you want to face. We'll take a wide-legged forward fold here right from our tree postures. So toes are in, heels are out. Press through both feet firmly. Roll shoulders back, chest forward, take a big breath in. As we exhale, we'll take it down. Drop those hands down to the ground first, stacking hip, knee, and ankle all in a line. So you don't want your butt back too far.
Equal pressure through the front and the back of the feet. And then from here, you're always welcome to stay on those hands. You can drop to your forearms. You can reach for those toes or ankles. You can also, if you want to play a little bit today, you can open up to one side and then the other side. Take your time with that. Follow your breath. If you take the rotations, don't rush them. You can even stay open to one side if you like. We have 3 more breaths, movement or stillness. And then let's come back to center. Drop those hands under that face. Press up into a halfway lift. Take a full inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to head back to the top of the mat, whatever foot that is for you. Frame that top edge foot here. Coming back into a lunge, plant those hands firmly. Take an inhale. As we exhale, stepping ourselves back to downward facing dog. Finding a full breath in. And a big breath out. We'll do our funny little plank flow one more time here, my friends. So upper body stays in downward facing dog. Drop those knees down to a hover. Here's your inhale. Exhale to launch forward into a high plank. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Doing it again. Inhale, knees to a hover. Exhale, launch forward, high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. One more time, everybody. Inhale, knees to a hover. Exhale to high plank. Take a breath in here. Exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Find a full inhale. Find a big exhale. We'll inhale that right leg towards the ceiling, everybody. We're headed to pigeon. As we exhale, right foot steps forward. Walk your right foot over to the left. Drop your right shin down. Drop your back knee down. We worked through a lot of the alignment on Wednesday, and I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to work through this alignment here. So right knee is wider than your right hip. Your front right shin does not have to be parallel to the front edge of the mat. You can have an angle on it there. That's okay. We want those hips to be level. So engage your inner thighs. Feel a little bit of a lift away from the mat here as your inner thighs engage. And then check to make sure that you have a straight line from your left hip to your left foot. And then from there, if you want to get closer to the ground, you can start to scoot that left foot back a little bit, keeping the nice square pelvis by getting a little closer to the ground. And then from here, you can stay upright or you can fold forward. Pigeon pose. Five big breaths. Taking one more full inhale. And a big exhale. And then we'll press firmly through those hands. Plant your hands like you're in downward facing dog. So those fingers spread wide. Give yourself a good foundation. Tuck those left toes under. Lift that left knee off the ground. And then we'll step ourselves back to downward facing dog. Taking a full inhale here. And a big exhale. And then when you're ready, inhaling left leg up towards the ceiling, square hips here. Exhale to step that left foot forward. Walk your left foot over to the right. Drop your left shin down. Drop your back knee down. Let's set ourselves up the same way here, everybody. Left knee is out wider than the left hip. We're going to take a moment here to engage the inner thighs. Feel a lift away from the mat as we do so. Square off that pelvis. And then as you do so, if you want to get closer to the mat, you can walk those right toes back a little bit to get a little closer down to the mat, keeping that nice square pelvis here. And then you're welcome to stay here upright if you want to, or work your torso forward. into your pigeon pose. Take your time getting there. There's no rush. We'll take our 5 big breaths here when you're ready. One more full inhale. And a big exhale. And then when you're ready, we'll press that torso back up again here. Plant those hands firmly. Give yourself a good strong base. Tuck your back toes under, lift that back knee off the ground. And then we'll step ourselves back to downward facing dog. Pedaling all of it out here. Taking 3 big breaths in down dog. One more breath, let's inhale. And exhale. And then we'll send those hips a little higher. You can walk, step, or hop up to the top of the mat. And then we're gonna bend those knees, sitting all the way down on our mat, draw the bottoms of the feet together. Knees out wide for butterfly pose here. So you're welcome to draw your heels and your pelvis as close together as you want to, or if it's more comfortable, take those feet away from your pelvis if that feels better. Whatever feels better for you here. If you need a little extra cushion under those knees, that's totally okay here. Root down through those sit bones. We're going to stay nice and upright for this one, everybody. Hands on knees, thighs, or toes. Shoulder blades back and down. Take 3 breaths here. One more full inhale. And a big exhale. And then we'll gently extend those legs forward, toes up towards the sky, root down firmly through those sit bones here. Legs are nice and straight. Take an inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, torso tall. As we exhale, in order to fold forward, take it from your hips. So elongate first, and then begin your forward fold. Grabbing onto whatever you can with those hands, shins, ankles, toes, or the floor. Take 3 breaths. One more big breath in. Full breath out. And then we'll gently draw that torso up here. Keep your left leg where it is. Draw your right knee. Bend your right knee, draw your right foot in here. We'll take our twist to the right first. Plenty of options for where this goes here. So you can keep your right foot to the inside of your left thigh, or you can take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh, whichever one you prefer. Left leg stays super engaged here. No floppy left leg. Keep it engaged. Right hand finds the floor just behind the right hip. Take an inhale, reach the left arm up. And then as we exhale, you can either hug that right knee with your left elbow or take a full rotation all the way around. Keep that left leg engaged here, everybody. Sit bones are down. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. Find your breath. And then on your next inhale, gently come through center, counter twist over to the left. As we exhale, come back to center. That right leg extends long here. Shake those legs out. We'll take it to the other side. So we'll bend that left knee. Right leg stays super strong and straight here. You can either keep that left foot planted to the inside of your right thigh or switch it to the outside. Totally up to you. Sit bones are down on both sides of your body here. Left hand is going to find the floor just behind your left hip. Inhale, right arm up and over. And then as we exhale, we can either hug that left knee with the right elbow or take a full rotation. Both sit bones stay down, my friends here. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Take your 3 breaths. One more full inhale. Full exhale. And then the inhale takes us to our counter twist over to the right. Our exhale brings us back to center. Extend that left leg long, shake those legs out. And then we're going to bend both knees, wrap your hands or your forearms around your shins. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, make your way all the way down onto your back here. Make those circles with those knees if you like, one way and the other way. And then we'll plant those feet firmly here. I'm just going to cue the basic twist today. If there's a different twist you prefer, you're welcome to do so. So feet are about hip distance apart here. Arms can come out to the side or overhead. Let's take a full inhale. As we exhale, those knees gently fall to the right. Again, if there's a different shape you prefer, you can take a different shape. We'll take 3 breaths here. And then on your next inhale, gently draw those knees back to center. As we exhale, those knees gently fall to the left. Again, whichever shape you prefer today, please feel free to take. Shoulder blades stay melted down onto the mat here. Find those 3 breaths. And then on your next inhale, gently draw your knees back to center. If you'd like to windshield wiper those knees side to side, you're welcome to do so. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Reach in between those thighs to grab onto toes, arches, or ankles to find happy baby here. Tailbone is nice and long here. Lots of space between the heel and the back of the thigh. If you can't quite reach your feet and keep your head on the ground, you can choke up a little bit. Bring your hands to your knees or your calves. No problem there. 2 more big breaths. One more. And then we'll gently draw those inner thighs together. Extend your heels up towards the ceiling. Draw your toes towards your face. Take a moment of pause right here. Just notice how your body feels. If you like this posture, you can stay here. You can point and flex those feet if you'd like to do that. Feel free if you'd like to make your way over to the wall for legs up the wall or any other postures you would like to finish out your practice today. We have a few moments of a little yogi playtime to find those postures that you prefer to take to finish out practice. So take your time with those and we'll meet in a few minutes in Shavasana. If you've taken a posture over to one side, make sure you take that same posture going the other way. If you'd like to shift over to legs up the wall and you're not yet there, please feel free to shift to that posture. And then as you feel ready, adding or removing layers of clothing, grabbing a blanket or a pillow. As we make our way down to full Shavasana, extend those legs nice and long. Allow your arms to take up as much space as you prefer. Head, hips, and heels are heavy on the mat beneath you. Take a full breath all the way in. Exhaling into the full support of the earth beneath you, and enjoy Shavasana. Let's take a big breath all the way in. And a full breath all the way out. Before we make any physical movements here, just take notice of how the body feels. And take a moment to send a blessing of gratitude to your body for all that it does for you every single day. If you'd like to remain in stillness, please feel free to stay there. If you're ready for some movements, gently wiggle those fingers and toes. Gently roll the wrists and ankles. And gently rock the head side to side. As you feel ready, extend those arms all the way overhead, getting as long as you can from your fingertips to your toes. And then take a big breath in. As you exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest, wrap your hands or your forearms around your shins, give yourself a big hug. Gently making your way over to your favorite side in a fetal position when you feel ready. We'll take a moment of pause in this posture as we always do. Allowing ourselves to call to mind who in our lives we are grateful for. With a heart full of gratitude, use both hands to gently bring you up to a comfortable seat. Drawing thumbs together at heart center once you arrive. Eyes open or close, your choice. And we'll finish out with one more big breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. The light inside of me loves and honors the light inside each of you. Namaste. Namaste and kittens, my dear friends. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you liked it. Happy
Thanks, Courtney.
weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Courtney. That was great.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy weekend.
Thank you, Courtney. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Be well, everyone.
Happy weekend, everyone.